He's the sidekick who's the star of the show. B-127 or Bumblebee is a scout and an icon in the Transformers franchise, and here are the reasons why everyone loves Bumblebee. 1. His design is perfect. He's a bee. Bumblebee's first design was from the Transformers comics, and he has the exact same design in the first TV show ever made. He's a Volkswagen Beetle with a very simplistic robot mode. I like to think that the G1 Transformers had simple designs so we would easily understand how the transformations work. I also thought that it was the animation. The reason for that is, these guys would lose wheels and other random parts after transforming, but that's just the theory I had as a kid growing up. There is one event in history that changed Bumblebee's look forever: the Bayverse films. Whoever made this design needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Absolutely generational. This look was so iconic that it inspired every single version after it. Just look at him. The Camaro, the small upper half compared to his lower half, the big long beefy legs, the stacked forearms, the car nose being the chest, and the wings, and also not being able to speak. These attributes are what you expect or at least think of when Bumblebee is mentioned. Without the Bayverse, he wouldn't have the iconic look that he has today. There are so many great versions of Bumblebee that originate from the single Transformers movie. Transformers Prime, the Bumblebee movie, Robots in Disguise, Rescue Bots, Cyberverse, and probably many more. A personal favorite would have to be the Dark of the Moon or Rise of the Beasts Bumblebee design. 2. He's a badass. Bumblebee knows how to throw hands. Whether it's a gunfight, hand-to-hand, or a race, this guy means business, and doing it in a way you'll never forget it. His fighting style is more tactical and creative to make up for his lack in size, but don't let that fool you. This guy powers through even the strongest of Transformers. He says it himself. Sting like a bee. Couldn't have said it better. He has tons of insane fights that show he's a force to be reckoned with. Bumblebee vs. Dropkick. In this fight, Dropkick already has the size advantage and he's visibly stronger than Bee, but it ain't his movie, so he doesn't stand a chance. Every time Dropkick hits him, he sends him flying, and I mean, every time. Bumblebee wins this fight with clean movement and utilizing his surroundings to literally rip Dropkick apart. This has to be my favorite Bumblebee fight. Bumblebee vs. Random Decepticon. In this fight, Bumblebee sneak attacks this Decepticon, but he starts fighting back, and I forgot to mention in the first fight, but when Bumblebee puts his mask on, it's game time. Kinda like when Spider-Man stops making jokes or Superman stops holding back. Anyway, he starts demolishing this dude and amputates his arm, turning him into that one lady from SpongeBob who hates chocolate. I always hated it! Bumblebee vs. Optimus Prime. I said Bumblebee can tussle with the big dogs, and I meant that. Here he is laying heat on Optimus Prime, but I said tussle, I didn't say win. He can't really beat Optimus. There's a reason he has an Op in his name. Optimus easily overpowers Bumblebee, but he lives because he chose to speak, making the big dog snap out of it. I can't really defend this, I just enjoy watching the fight. Bumblebee vs. Arachnid. For context, Arachnid used the immobilizer to stun Bulkhead and Optimus, so it was a 1v1 from there. Bee tricked her by making a cloud of dust to hide himself and making her shoot blind. Arachnid thought she got him, but it was just acting, sneaking up behind her and laying her out flat. Bumblebee vs. Soundwave. This isn't really a fight, since Bee stomps Soundwave. I just think this scene is cool. Anyway, Bumblebee kills Megatron. This also wasn't a fight, I just think this frame is epic. There are probably many more fights I could list since the CGI in the movies and the animation in the shows are really good. If you feel like I've missed some really important / cool ones, make sure to put it in the comments and I'll try my best to read every single one. 3. He's got personality. Being the only bot who can't talk, he's got the most personality and the biggest heart. That's one of the biggest reasons everyone loves him so much. Bumblebee sits on the fence of being a robot and a human. He's brave, friendly, and loyal to the core. Anyone he forms a bond with, he would gladly give his life no hesitation. He even says he wants to stay with Sam after Transformers 1. He's just that guy. He's also got swag. Going back to the fighting, you can see his movements alone. He looks really fluid. He's not throwing the good old haymakers left and right. He's got style. As far as I know, he's the only bot who uses his transformation when fighting. I'm glad they did more of that in Transformers 1. These guys are advanced robots from a faraway planet and they barely use their one gimmick when fighting. But B, he's been doing that for time. Also, Bumblebee can see John Cena, but I might be wrong here. He could just be looking at the pilot seat and trying to figure out why he risked his life trying to save an autopiloted helicopter. But hey, you never know. 4. He's always got the coolest music. This is intentional and I'm fully aware of it. Every time this guy's on screen, it's just straight up bangers. A fight, a car chase, or even a more human-oriented scene, Bumblebee always steals the show with the best music in the background. Invincible also does this with the amount of bangers I added to my playlist after watching the show, but I always remember every song that plays when Bumblebee's on screen. Final thoughts. I got one more thing to say before I disappear for another 3 weeks because I can't think of a good video idea. I really enjoy the Bayverse movies, even the last two. I've watched all 5 movies multiple times and I can say that I've never been bored or that I didn't enjoy every minute of the movies. Hold up, I'll explain. When I watch a Transformers movie, the thing I care about the most are the designs and the fight scenes. The story is also really important, but what makes these movies so enjoyable is the creativity behind every metal clank and slow motion cut you see when the bots are ripping each other apart. And Megan Fox. I have a hot take that might start a little war in my comment section, but I can't say I don't enjoy reading those. The Bayverse movies changed Transformers forever. Your expectations for what characters look and feel originate from these movies. Bumblebee specifically. I think B would still be a goofy, easily forgotten, swappable character he was before the Bayverse was even a thing. I think the character got a big improvement during his evolution, and I'm not hating on the versions before or even putting Bayverse on a pedestal. I enjoyed the animated take on Bumblebee almost as much as I do on the modern one. Even K's Bumblebee brought a goofier approach to the character that was a joy to watch. I'm saying that I'm sick of hearing the comments hating on the movies. I've seen few complaints of the robots being too busy or complex or hard to distinguish. First of all, there are advanced robots that are 10 to 20,000 years old in some versions. In the others, there are like millions. I don't really know the exact birth date of Optimus Prime. The point is, they've been around for time. Of course they're gonna evolve and not look like this. And can you imagine if live-action Transformers had these designs? I think they would look ridiculous. Second of all, change is good. If we always kept doing the same thing over and over without trying something new, life would be pretty boring. That's how this channel was even made. Same with the designs of Transformers. If nothing changed, seeing the same design over and over again would just be a pain to watch. It also stops inspiring new takes on said character. Dudes sat in a room creating that model for days, maybe even longer. I think I got everything out of my system. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.